Okay, welcome back. We're about to finish up Body with Body 5 and a really important topic. I want you to take your time with this section. This section is about your relationship with food. And I want to start out by underscoring the point that each of us have a very personal, unique, individual set of attitudes and beliefs that create our relationship with food. So I see this as an important topic to be very honoring around. I look at this topic that way. And in terms of being happy in your life, great relationships are so important, especially the one with ourselves, and by extension, this particular one with food. So what we're going to do here as we look at Body 5 and your relationship with food is I want you to come to this conversation with an open heart, an accepting heart of yourself. Wherever you are in this conversation is exactly where you're meant to be right now. So give yourself a hug and support if it's needed. And let's sit down and let's talk a little bit more about this, okay? This relationship with food should be about a friendship. You know, how you show up with a friend. And this is food being your friend and you being the friend to the food. So what do I mean by that? Well, you know, we choose people to be around because of the energy they bring to us, hopefully. That's when you're in happy relationships. We're going to talk about it from that perspective. And in terms of the self-growth that we're doing and the friendships we're growing with ourselves, we look for the good energy we bring each other. The feeling good while we're together. So feeling good while you're eating. Enjoying what you're eating while you're eating it. Saying yes to, this is the thing I want to eat. And I'm saying yes to feeling good while I eat it. Choosing simple foods that are whole and from the earth. Simplicity is a happiness skill. Keeping things simple in your life is definitely going to make your life more resonant and fulfilling, which we'll talk about more later. Your relationship with food and choosing foods that are simple, those are the ones that are going to love you. You want things around you that love you, nourish you, support you. That's what we've been talking about so far in the conversation, and we will continue that. And so when you're choosing your foods, it's great to have the ones that are simple and whole. So they can go into your body in a simple way, and your body can go, oh yeah, I get you. You're not hard to digest. You're simple to digest. Oh yeah, you're not bringing anything to me that will hurt me. Yay, I'm really happy to be swallowing and taking this food into my body because I know this food will love me. So that's kind of the relationship we're going for with food. Again, wherever you are is perfect for now. We're talking about it from a perspective of friendship, how to be in friendship with food, and how to grow a loving relationship and perspective with food. What I have found too is I have done these many long years of growing into a loving relationship with myself, which has increased and brought me to a place of real happiness and joy in my life. This friendship with food has evolved naturally, really as a side effect. And one of the things that's changed for me is the things that used to taste good to me, which I used to lean into in an unhealthy way when I was trying to make myself feel better with food, is my palate has changed, so that my tastes have changed. But I didn't put any focus on that. I'll tell you that right now. This relationship that I have with food shifted as I shifted. So it's about the holistic aspect of using all the skills you're going to learn here in this course and how that shifted my sense of being in a loving relationship with me, which automatically affected anything I do with my body. I mean, I wouldn't sit down and hit myself, right? I wouldn't do anything to intentionally hurt myself, although quite honestly, there was a time when I did, and I understand what that's about. So if you're in that place, I want you to know I get it, and we don't need to stay in places like that. We can do this work and grow into this place of love with ourselves. So food has become a thing that I want it to help me, support me, love me, and nourish me. How about you? Where are you in the conversation? Right now, I just want you to be aware of it. That's all. I want to talk about what it can be like from a perspective of having a loving friendship with food. So this is how I recommend you think about it. There are just 2 skills for you in this section. And it goes back to what you think about is what you bring about, and what you think is what you create. And the first one is this is a way I have suggested for you in the book, and I'm going to read it to you here, a way for you to think about food. I invite you to post it in places of meaning for you. Kitchen, fridge, cupboards, on your grocery list every week, so on. So here's what it says. As I practice amazing self-care and nourishment in my mind, my body, my heart, and my spirit, my food choices will naturally shift to, I am at ease in my body. Breath brings ease. So when you read that statement and you talk about those last 7 words, I am at ease in my body, that's a baby step process for a lot of people. And I want you to know that's okay. The point is to put this mindset into your mind, to repeat it frequently to yourself as you do this work. Maybe this is a statement that you want to get creative and make an art project with this statement. Maybe you want it big and framed in your house. What works for you is the question. Do you want to record it as a jingle and record in your phone to music? The idea here is for you to breathe in and breathe out and consider your relationship with food from a perspective of love and joy and friendship. And this is just the beginning, perhaps, for you of a new way of exploring what you want this to be in your life. And I want you to let go at that point. It's like step in and consider, journal this, journal this, journal this. What's there? Notice what comes up in your body. Talk about it in your journal. Talk about it with your body. What's there, body? If you have any dissonance in your relationship with food, what's there? There's a lot of messaging available for you there to get in touch with what needs to be healed, because frequently, instead of healing ourselves in healthy ways, we put food inside of our mouths that tastes good or somehow settles us, and we do that instead of healing. So that's what I mean about personal relationship with food. And the other happiness skill that I want you to consider in this section, write your own food mantra. Something like, I trust and appreciate the food I eat. I am at peace and in gratitude with the food I choose. I choose foods that I have fun with and I enjoy. Foods that I know will nourish my body and I'm excited and peaceful to eat. What comes up for you? What would be a good food mantra for you? It's like in the mind section, we wrote our personal support mantras. What is a mantra that supports you here as you evolve this relationship in a healthy way with food? Why don't you take a pause and think about that? How about you go to your journal and play around with it? Maybe now, maybe later. Is this something you want to say yes to? And once you come up with a mantra, if you say yes to that, where are you going to post it? How do you want to practice that? Before you go into a restaurant, you want to read it? So this isn't necessarily about you eating something different or doing something different at the table. It's about this process and this journey you're on by being in this course and having this book of growing into a loving, supportive relationship with you. And this particular topic is you and loving, supportive relationship with you and food. That's what this is about. So consider that. There's some spaces here. You can write your food mantra in the book, or you can go to your journal. I want to finish this section by telling you that I never say no to myself about anything I want to eat. If I want a piece of cake or a cookie or a muffin because, baked goods are my thing. Growing up, that was my go-to to feel better. And there's still times when I want that stuff and that's appropriate. That's what I need at that time. And that's great because I'm in this loving relationship with myself and with my food. And if I go and buy myself an awesome chocolate chip cookie and I heat it up and I sit down and have fun with that, I'm saying, yes, this feels good to me. So when I'm done, I'm I feel complete. I feel whole. It's enough. Because I breathe deeply. I use all my other skills and practices, and I'm very balanced and grounded. How about you? What comes up for you here? This is a great place, as Ed said, for you to journal. So before we get to summary, let me say this to you. circling back to the beginning when I said that your relationship with food is a very personal thing, that works both ways. And I think it's important to share the idea that people making remarks to each other about, oh, you ate that? Oh, you bought that to eat? Or, wow, how many calories was that? Or, why did you want to have that? The idea of being critical remarks, judgmental remarks about food, not okay. Not okay for us to say to others, not okay for others to say to us. Point being, we should not step in on each other's relationships with food any more than we should step in on each other's relationships with anybody unless we're invited in. So I just want to put that out there. If you have people doing that with you in your life and you found you're already challenged in this food relationship topic, it's okay, and I'll support you more and teach you more about this later in the book, but it's okay to set some boundaries and say, I really would prefer that you didn't make comments to me about what I eat. I'm working on that with myself. And we don't want to do it to others either. So let's go to summary. Let's see what you're ready to say yes to. What feels right to you? Do you want to go ahead and take the repeating phrase from the blue oval in the book and put that in your life somewhere so you can repeat it and read it often and maybe memorize it and say it to yourself quietly, regularly? Would you like to write your own food mantra and put that in the places that it will support you and do what it needs to do to help you shift the way you think about your relationship with food? You want to say yes? Take your time with this. As we come to the completion of the body section of the book, let's take a look at the happiness skills summary for body. Go ahead and get a marker or a highlighter, and let's go through this one last opportunity to either highlight or put a mark next to the skills you're saying yes to integrating into your life. This further brings your awareness and your focus to what you're saying yes to, setting your intentions, seeing it to make it so. Take a look through the power of movement, grounding, the power of stillness, body voices. What do you want to say yes to? And supporting yourself and your relationship with food. Take a moment here, and then I'll see you at heart. Thank you. You're doing great.